What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So let's go over some stocks to review. First thing we're going to start off with is QQQ, then we'll go over the SPY, SMH, MAG7, and then we'll hit the rest, okay? So let's break it down. Looking at the Qs has been pulling back, which is okay. This is normal. Not a big deal here. What we are doing is hitting a support level that is bouncing right at $580 per share. We've been calling this out. Looking at the 5-year chart, you can see that this pullback is very healthy and pullbacks should be bought. Now, will it pull back more? There is potential for that. We have this medium support line around $550. So we're going to be watching that heavily. Looking at the 3-month chart here, pulling here, we had a bounce here on QQQ at 582. And then we had previous support here on October 13th around 582. And then if you keep going back, you had more support at 582. So if 580 holds, that is something to be looking into. It shows you why this is buying. Let's see if this just starts floating and starts moving back up. Got to reclaim that $600 level. Definitely something to watch there. Let's move over to SPY. Looking over at the SPY here. SPY is very similar story here. S&P 500, for those of you who don't know, has went up very high, up to 689 on the 6-month, pulling back just a little bit to $650 per share. And you can see it has found its leg of support from previous support levels right here at 650, 650, another 650 right here. Moving forward, let's move over to SMH. This is the Semiconductor ETF. Before we made this video today, I was showing you guys in the past that we did have this wedge that was forming, and it broke out of this wedge, confirmed this lower low, confirmed 350 as a short, went all the way down to 318. So things can change pretty quickly, especially in technology or the semiconductors. So you have to pay attention to this. I do think we have a little more downside coming for the SMH and semiconductors. Looking here, 315 all the way down to $300 per share is definitely possible. So I would keep an eye on that if I were you. Definitely something to watch. So let's go here. Let's take a look. We have 315 showing signs of support on SMH and multiple signs of 315. But if it breaks, I want to see if we get this pullback to $300 per share. That's what I will be watching, looking for more short opportunities. NVIDIA had its pullback. When NVIDIA had its earnings, it went up to 200, faked a lot of people out, and now it's been selling off down to 180. It had blowout earnings, of course, as we all expected with NVIDIA. It's probably the golden child of stocks right now. Basically, the market is holding up due to NVIDIA. But once it started pulling back, that was pretty much it. If you're looking for this, you have support levels at $180 per share. Now, is it going to hold this? If it doesn't, next level is going to be $167 per share. Apple stock is really a stock that is not trading with the market. It is very bullish. It is at $277 per share. And if you look at this, pullbacks should be bought. Looking for $250, showing true strength. Another stock that is very strong as well is Google stock. We own this stock in the YouTube portfolio, which is great. Looking at Google, it has been running away with its new Gemini 3 news and basically pulled out as high as $306, continuing to sit on shares below $160 per share. So we like that. We're just going to continue watching them as it. For me, a stock that I have been buying the dip on is Meta. Meta stock. Look at this on the 5-year chart. This goes all the way back to 2022. So if you look here, basically what I've been doing is when I see a long-term trend like this, I buy the dip on these long-term trends, and that's what it looks like. So for me, around this, less than 600, preferably around 575, continuing to add on the dip. I think Meta offers a valuable opportunity. If you look at it just in the short term, Meta has pulled back all the way down to 580, which is a 23% pullback since its earnings. So with Meta stock, I am continuing to dollar cost average and build this position. Now, I'm not immune to knowing that Meta does have massive pullbacks, but a 23% pullback for me, I can continue dollar cost averaging in is something that I am interested in. Next, guys, looking at Tesla stock. Tesla stock here is very interesting. I have shares at 220. I didn't even sell. Tesla is a stock that I'm just not willing to day trade in the YouTube portfolio. I want to hold long term. So I just buy when we get major dips. I'm not buying any shares here at 390. It's clear as day that you do have support around this $370 level. You will see this right here in November of 2024. We had rejection at 370, rejection at 370, again at 370, and now look, it's coming down to this 370 to 365 range. If you zoom in a little bit closer on the map here, you can see that if 384 breaks, it's going to start pulling back, and you're definitely going to be looking for that move down to $365 per share. So definitely pay attention to that. Microsoft is another stock that I have been adding in the long-term portfolio. I have them down cost basis, like around $350. We are starting to dollar cost average in, not big bites, just a little bit of bites. You had the double rejection at 550 right here and right here. Starting to pull back. Microsoft is probably, in my opinion, one of the best companies in the world, and I want to own shares, especially when we get pullbacks. Just looking at this pullback here from $550, it pulled all the way back to 472. That's a 14 to 15% pullback. For me, a Mag 7 stock pulling back 15%, just like Meta pulling back over 20. I'm interested. What I really want to see is I want to see $450 on Meta. If you look at the long-term trend, it is clear 450 does have support. That's where I'm going to be looking and focusing on. And I will continue buying around 475 or lower. That is something that I will continue doing in my portfolio. Going over to the one-year chart, you have had multiple spots around 450 where you had rejection, a little bit lower around 445, and that is where I'm going to continue buying. It's all about this AI bubble. Is the AI bubble going to pop? That's not for me to decide. I'm just seeing what the market does and then trading from there. I want to go over a few other stocks that people I know are interested in that I think could offer you some opportunity. This is Hood stock. Ticker symbol HOOD, Hood. If you're watching Hood right now, it has been pumped to $154 per share. It has pulled back to $104. I think you have a buying opportunity here if you're going to be swing trading. I just want you to be aware of a few things here. If 110 rejects, I definitely think you need to be cautious on this stock. Hood offers opportunity, but you have to be aware that you had previous rejection levels around this 110 to 113 level. If Hood is going to reject 113, it's continued to be buying puts on it. But if you look here at Hood, I think we have potential support around $100 per share, looking at the previous support levels, all bouncing anywhere from $98 to $100 per share. This was in September of 25, and then you had August of 25, and then you also had right here of June of 25. So $100 per share. Please watch that level. See if you get a bounce on Hood stock. If you have shares, please comment in the section below. Let me know. I'm definitely interested in seeing. Guys, Chipotle, I just want you to have Chipotle on your radar. I've been buying shares in the Robinhood account. In the Robinhood account, it is 100% of the portfolio. And we right now, after earnings, has sold off from $41 down to $30. That's a 28% pullback on Chipotle. Now, a few things just to watch on these guys. In the Robinhood account, I have shares around $34 per share. Been dollar cost averaging down at this $30 here. Right now, it's not out of the weeds yet, but it did so far make some form of level here around $30. But let's be realistic here. It's got to get above this $32 per share. $32 per share is acting like a force field for Chipotle, rejecting thin bars at $32, thin bar rejection at $32. And the ultimate, if it can get above $32, once it reclaims $32.50, I think then Chipotle can finally make its move back up to at least $35 per share. So I just want to bring that up to you guys. Just keep it on your radar. Let's go over MSTR. MSTR stock, definitely very interesting. I don't care what anybody says. This definitely trades directly with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin sells off, this clearly holds off. This clearly sells off. Look at MSTR strategy. Now, we are approaching technical levels of support. You have clear levels. 200 broke. Down to 118 would be your next support level, but I do support the idea of the 170 on MSTR. I mean, guys, look at this RSI trading on the 1-year chart, trading at 23. 23 on MSTR. And interesting play right here. All it does is sell off. This is a fallen knife, so you got to be cautious. But please put it on your radar. I am actually getting interested in this stock because it has sold off so much. So definitely something to keep in mind with MSTR, 165 pulling back like this. Got to pay attention to that nebulous cloud. These data center stocks are finally coming to reality. They don't really make much money. They're not profitable. Now, they can turn around, of course, but if people are afraid of the AI move, this is going to cause some selling pressure, and that's exactly what's happening. We're at $86 per share. I'll be interested if Nebulous Cloud goes down to $50 per share. Not something I will be trading until we get, let's see what pullback that is, $85, until it pulls back at least another 36%. I want to see that happen. Now, it could be a buying opportunity, but I'm not willing to risk my money. I don't think the risk reward is worth it. Look at CoreWeave. Here's another example of a stock that got pumped, $187 per share, down to 70. I think this has better ROI for you. You can see looking here at CoreWeave, $65 right here, hitting support from May 12th of 2025. If you're going to trade this, at least you know that if it breaks $60, you can follow a stop loss, look for your move back up to 100. That's a 57% move. Something to be interested in. Let's go over a couple of the coins real quick. Bitcoin, we're talking about MSTR and all that. Now we're looking at Bitcoin. If you bring up Bitcoin, it has like very violent moves. I haven't been buying the dip yet on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I also like to look at the previous support levels here at 76,000. 76,000 on Bitcoin is something that I'm interested in. If you guys know, you follow my channel, I have the Gemini where I trade my crypto and basically hold long term. I will be adding more Bitcoin besides using my rewards, Bitcoin credit card and all that stuff. I will be adding bigger positions around 75 to 76,000. I am just waiting patiently with my alerts set. And if you want to become a better trader, you got to have like your alerts set for different stocks, different crypto, and just wait for your levels. If it doesn't come, it's okay. You can always trade something else. The casino is always open pretty much when it comes to the stock market, so you have to be patient and wait for it to come to your levels. I'm going to wait for 75,000 on Bitcoin. I want to go over ETH. I've been buying shares of Ethereum, and I think Ethereum offers opportunity here. But let's just go over the levels right here on the 5-year chart going back to 2022. I'll zoom it out so you can see you have clear support levels that are being tested right now. Now, does it mean it's going to hold? Nobody knows. All right. No YouTuber, no TikTok guy knows, but we can only go off of the levels. I've seen levels from 1,000 bounce, 1,700 bounce, and then a dip from this 2,300 all the way down. This is how volatile it is, 1,500, and then came right back up. So I'm purchasing shares around here. I bought a few shares around 2,800. I shouldn't say shares. I guess I bought one ETH around 2,800. If we do get a pullback, I do want to see pullbacks to about $1,800 per share. $1,800 per share would be interesting for me for ETH. So I definitely would be paying attention to that if you can get ETH around that time. That is something that I will be looking into. XRP is another crypto that I have been buying shares. Anything under $2 per share, I am buying. It is clearly showing that it is breaking this $2 per share. So I've been accumulating crypto or coin, whatever you want to call it, under the $2 per share right there. And last but not least, when it comes to the crypto, Solana, I haven't bought them yet. I do feel as if they are a little more volatile than the others. So it's at $125. I'm waiting for 110, and I'll show you why. So basically right here, you have this thin wick at $95. Pull up here is around 110 is really what I will be looking for to make my extra purchases of Solana. We will continue watching them and setting our alerts. And guys, set your alerts. Going over Webull stock, looking at Webull stock, $8.32. This is insane. This stock had earnings, and I actually don't think they did too bad on their earnings. But here we go. So right here, 79.56, Webull stock has sold off down to, what is it, $8. If this goes down to $6, I'm going to buy 1,000 shares and just sit on it. I just got to hope that they don't do a share split because they're down 90%. It just seems like a very easy double. Or I'm going to lose half my money because they're going to do a share offering and they're going to, dilute the shareholders. So I'd be willing to take that risk on bull, but I'm still not buying shares at $8.30. I want to see these go down to at least $6 per share.